This our journey. The vision is ours. Everything pure. Everything.
Let's talk about the military. I was telling y'all about 3% of the military or 3% of the population provides the safety and the support for 97% of the Americans in the world today, or in the United States, as you were. But the military ain't no joke. A lot of people think the military is a good thing.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you, if your mind ain't right, it'll make you or it'll break you. Okay. Tell you a little story. I went in the military as an airborne infantryman, and you say, well, why would you go to airborne? I wanted to be the hardest, the toughest, the roughest unit that I could be in. And I asked the recruiter, I said, I'm thinking about, I want to be rough and tough. I said, well, what you got? He said, well, we got special forces. I said, yeah, give me that. He said, well, special forces, you have to be an E4 or above to actually get in, but we can send you to another unit and then you can apply. I said, no, I got to go. I'm ready to get out of town before sundown brown, baby.
Hey, talk to me.
And so he said, I said, what else you got? He said, we can send you to ranger school. You'd be assigned to a ranger battalion. I said, yeah, give me that. He said, well, the next class we got, it's like 6 months from now. I need to go now. What part do you? I need to go right now.
So what was the hurry?
Because I was ready to leave.
Ready to leave.
You know what I'm saying?
Ready to get it over.
Yeah, ready to leave. We have to do something,
Yeah.
And so then he told me, he said, well, you can be an airborne paratrooper. I said, what's that? He said, you jump out of airplanes. I said, what? Jump out of airplanes? I said, for real? He said, yeah, you can jump out of an airplane. I said, and that's rough and tough? He said, yeah. I said, give me that. Never less did I realize that when I went in, they were sending people straight from basic training to Vietnam.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. So I get to doggone basic training. I got my airborne patches already sold on.
Yeah.
Now, you don't get your airborne patches and all that done until you finish jump school.
Right.
I had mine already.
You already
Because
had
they were going to send us straight from there over to the war in Vietnam. Okay? So, I got in the 82nd.
Right.
Went through jump school. Got to Fort Benning, Georgia. Got in the 82nd.
All the way.
Whoa. Got assigned to Bravo Company Second 504.
Let's go.
I mean, let's go. So, while I was there, well, let me regress back to basic training. We had to do a 5-event PT test before every meal.
Oh, wow.
Every meal.
They're not playing with them.
They're not playing. If you can't cut the mustard here, you can't cut the mustard in Vietnam. Trust me.
Okay.
But that's what they did. They tried to toughen you up. In my class alone, we had 5 to commit suicide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we lost 5 of them. And people were dropping out left and right every day. But, then I went to airborne school.
Right.
And actually, the first demonstration jump that they did, a guy streaming in.
Oh, wow.
Half the class quit airborne. Half the class.
And you still stayed true.
I still stayed.
What made you stay?
Because I couldn't quit.
Yeah, bro, that's it.
I got that no quit attitude. Somebody tell me I can't do something, that's fuel to my fire.
You was born with it.
I'm born with it, baby. And my mom used to tell me, she said, son, I don't care what you do in this life, but be the best at it. And I tried to use that white ring. I said, people don't understand. My name is King.
That's it.
I got a lot to live up to just by my name. Okay. So failure is not an option for me.
Not an option.
It's not an option for me. You know, if I'm Amos Smith, maybe I can get away with it. But yeah, I got the 82nd Airborne Division, man. Man, I mean, made E5 in less than 18 months.
Oh my.
Less than 18 months, bro.
You ain't playing around.
I ain't playing around. And, you know, it got to the point that I had been in about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I said, well, dog, why am I doing all this? And I had E5s, E6s,
Wow.
and E7s in my company.
In your company.
And in my platoon
Mm.
that I was in charge of.
That's it, because you
With
performing.
18 months.
Right.
Because they weren't doing what all they doing, you know, collecting the paycheck. That's all they were doing.
Right.
But I had a platoon sergeant, he pulled me aside. He said, King, this is all preparing you for something greater along the line and in your future. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because you'll see it in the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I said, I'm working my tail to the bone. These guys are getting paid for E6 and E7. I'm just an E5, and you know, hey, they ain't paying me they paying them for me to do their job. Okay. So that didn't sit very good in my eyes during that time. But after I realized that, hey, I had just gotten married.
Right.
Had a little kid, and what turned that all around was I came home from field training exercise, and my daughter didn't know who I was.
Oh, wow.
When I was in the 82nd as an infantryman,
Yeah.
I stayed in the field or I stayed gone 9 months out of the year.
Wow.
And so I knew for a fact that I couldn't continue that type of lifestyle and maintain a family and do the right thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I changed from an airborne infantryman, which I was good at, a killer, trained killer.
Right.
I was good at it.
That's it. Yeah.
To a practical nurse.
Wow.
Now, when I came in to my first sergeant's office and we did our interview for re-enlistment, because I had 3 years, 6 months.
Yeah.
He says, Sergeant King, I know you're going to re-enlist PDA, right?
Right.
Present duty assignment. I said, no, first sergeant, I'm not. He said, what? I said, no, I'm not. Mr. King, are you crazy? He said, you're scheduled to make E7 in less than 7 years. And you're going to give that up for what? What are you planning on going into? I said, I'm going to be a nurse.
Wow.
He said, a nurse? He says, King, you're not smart enough to be a nurse. That's where the turning point came in my life. Wow. When he told me that, I went to school with the attitude to do the best that I can. I studied my butt off, and I worked as hard as I could.
Wow.
91 Bravo school, I got the leadership award out of that. I was the class leader. Okay. 91 Charlie school. Again, I got the leadership award. Came out number one in the first phase.
Wow.
Your second phase was at any other hospital for your actual didactic, okay, or your clinical, should I say. Your didactic was at Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Right.
And because I was number one, I was given the opportunity to go anywhere in the world that had a hospital.
Really? Would you pick? You gotta come on.
I said, do we have a hospital in Hawaii? He said, yes, we do. We got the largest hospital in Hawaii, Triple Allen Medical Center in Hawaii. I said, okay, I'll take that. I went over there and blew them out the water they had never seen in the history of the course.
Wow.
In the history of the course. Anybody to do what I did. And I maintained a 99.1 average.
Wow.
Through the entire course. Okay.
That's amazing.
Came out number one. And where do they send me? Back to Fort Polk. Fort Polk, Louisiana. So I'm a little cocky little E5. You know, and one thing about the 82nd, they will teach you everything that you knew about regulations. You know, everything is regulated in the army. If you know regulations, you can't let nobody can screw you over if you know your regulations.
Right.
So I called DA. I said, you know, can I get out of this assignment? You know, I said, no, Sergeant King, you got to go. You don't have to stay, but you got to go.
You got to go.
Got to go. So I went over there, and they said, as soon as you get there, go ahead and put in your 4187 to come back to the 82nd, and we'll approve it, of course. So I got there. I told you know the commanders and first sergeant brief. You know, welcoming everybody in there, and I stood up and I said, First Sergeant Commander, I want you to know that I won't be here very long. I'm going back to the 82nd. They looked at me and said, you know, thinking, I just imagine this what they say, who does this think he is telling me what he going to do?
It ain't gonna do.
And ain't going to do. So I fill out the 4187, supposedly went off to pack or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So anything time you send up a 4187, the approving authority is Department of the Army.
Right.
No one in them they can recommend disapproval, but
Right.
the approving authority is the Department of the Army.
Yep.
Okay, so after 3 months, I called up and said, you know, you have my paperwork for 4187 for me to come back on there, whatever. They said, Sergeant King, no, we don't. We don't have that. So I did a backfill. Went from corps to division, from division, corps to division, to post, brigade, and it didn't leave the company.
Wow.
So I called DA and let them know. Said, go ahead and put it in and submit it again. So I submitted, waited 3 more months. Called DA. Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. I called them up. I said, look, somebody's giving me the runaround, and something needs to happen with this. They said, hold on, sorry, King. But we paused about 3 minutes.
Right.
So this is what I want you to do. I want you to hand carry your 4187 to from your company
Yes.
or your squadron to your squadron headquarters. At the time, I was in a cav unit.
Mm.
From there to the division. The division commander and a command sergeant major is waiting on you.
And it goes to 8 AR cars.
I hand carried all the way, and they sent it on up. Within 3 weeks of me turning it in, they said, when do you want to leave? Now, at this time, I had been in the unit for about 6 months.
Wow.
And they said, my unit was a CAF medical aid station.
Right.
And so we were supposed to have 37 medics. We only had 17.
17.
And
Wow.
we were going through an RCAP.
Wow.
Okay. And so I didn't want to leave them like that, you know. So I stayed an additional 3 months
Right.
before I moved out to the 82nd.
Okay.
But I stayed there for 90 days.
90 days. Okay.
Which is unheard of. I did 3 PCS moves in less than 12 months.
12 months.
3.
Wow.
3. So that's how I got in the medical field, and I just excelled after that. And, you know, I was the first individual. I started the Division Medical Operations Center as an E6. It was me, an E7, and another E4. 3 founding members of this medical staff.
Wow.
I went away, came back, signed back over to that Division Medical Operations Center as the operations sergeant,
All right.
as an E7.
E7.
Then I went and took over a company when I made E8.
Right. I
did 3 first sergeant positions in 3 different commands.
Wow.
That's unheard of. Okay. To top it off,
Yeah.
I received when I retired after 27 years, 19 of which were in the 82nd Airborne Division. I received the Meritorious Service Medal, the Legion of Merit, which is the highest medal that you can receive for service.
Wow.
Okay, and this is the only medal other than the Medal of Honor
Right.
that comes with a necklace.
Wow.
Okay, to show you how high this is.
Wow.
And you know, I just use what
The
I
next one
learned
is Mr. Choice,
about
presented
humanity
by John
and
McGowan.
personalities
Mm.
and treating everybody the way they want to be treated, no matter who they are, whether they're PFC,
Yeah.
whether they're a lieutenant, or whether they're the colonel or the general. Treat everybody with dignity and respect, and it will come back to you threefold. Okay. Well, that career that I spent in the 82nd taught me so many things about humility, and because I'll tell you, there's 3 times that I should have been dead. This is when I know I'm God sent.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me.
In airborne school, when I told you about the one that's streaming in,
Right.
how about every jump that I made, and I made 5 jumps in the airborne school, I had malfunctions, and I lived 5 of them. I lived to see it.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm.
Um,
Where were y'all jumping back then? T10s?
yeah,
No, yeah,
T10s,
T10s. Let's go.
yeah, T10s, baby, with a big
Yeah.
dial that you rotated.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you smack like that to break it apart? Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. But the 3rd time that
Presented to Mike.
I almost died, I was on a jump, and I was sergeant major at Division Medical Operations Center. And so one of my medical guys was one of the primary jump masters for this particular jump, and he invited me down. Come on, Sergeant Major, come on down, and we'd love to have you on our jump and stuff. So I go down. We passing out and shoots and everything, and then before we got ready to pass out shoots, the my medic that was on the primary, he said, Sergeant Major, what are you doing way back here at the back? So you need to be up here in front at the door position. I said, no, I leave the door position for these young jocks, give them that position, give them that honor.
Yeah.
As long as I'm number, 1, 2, 3, it don't make no difference. So I came out, I took number 3. Okay. How about when I jumped, the guy that had my slot got killed.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Now the 3rd time, or should I say the 4th time, that I knew that God has blessed me
Yeah.
and kept me around here for something. It was on a day jump, sunny, no wind, no equipment, just a parachute.
Wow.
I jumped out and immediately has a high altitude entangled with the jumper.
Yeah.
Wrapped around suspension lines, we're falling faster than the fellow jumpers in the hole that
Yeah.
we break part and part away. Pull the slip to get away.
Yeah.
Okay, I still got my slip. He turns around and turns his slip to come into me again.
Right.
He steals my air.
Oh, Lord.
I fell the equivalent of 5 stories with no lip capability.
Wow.
Hit the ground, knocked out, fractured back, pelvis, ACLs, tears, the whole 9 yards. The only thing that saved me was the division surgeon,
Wow.
who was an orthopedic. He was the first man on site. He saw me jump, and he saw what was happening because he was number 4 or 5.
Waiting for you.
He was waiting for me on the ground. Other than that, I would have died there on the DZ.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
He's able.
So when I tell you that God
He's
has
able.
blessed me,
Mm.
and He put me here for a purpose, and what you see me doing every day,
Yeah.
I do it with the utmost seriousness
That's it.
about this positivity. This is what God put me here for. He blessed me with these 2 beautiful cars, and all I'm doing is out here promoting His message of staying true to God's word.
Amen.
Okay? And that's what it's all about, baby.
That's
Tell
what it's
you,
all about.
It's a testimony, baby.
Man, that's
It's a testimony.
beautiful.
You can't have a testimony unless you had a test.
You know?
I had 4 or 5 of them.
Talk to me. Why
I
we
had,
got
I had a friend of mine in California. He went over to Vietnam. He was in airborne too,
Yes, sir.
and he's still around.
Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
said he
sir.
won't jump no more.
Yes, sir. And to tell you the story, they said I'd never walk again.
Ooh.
Okay? How about In less than a year and a half, I came back,
Mm.
got cleared to jump again,
Mm.
and made 5 jumps.
It depends on you.
That's right.
Hey, he'll do it,
I'm
won't
a
he?
determined, baby.
It
You got to
depends
have
on
that
you.
determination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You and him.
That's
You
right.
and him.
Yes, man.
While the music down, can we get the intro and the accolades one more time? That was so
Oh,
smooth how you
we're
went into
talking
it.
about, you know, hey,
Come on now.
King of the South, 7
Okay.
years in a row.
Mhm.
Dopest in North and South Carolina,
Mm.
7 years in a row. Inducted into the Alabama Car Show Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Inducted into the 2DM Rides Magazine Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Most valuable player in all of Atlanta, Georgia, 2019. The Guinness Book of World Record holder for the most car shows in 1 year. 82 car shows in 8 months, 2018. 6-time Dub Show winner. Um, what else? Won every major car show
Mm.
in Maryland, Virginia, D.C., North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas.
Woo.
Every major show.
You know Jay Little? Have you heard of Jay Little?
Yes, sir.
You ain't been in the car show with him, huh?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But that's you know, when I tell people what I've done and the accolades I've done with just one car.
Mm.
Now you see people that have done what I've done with multiple cars, but I don't know anyone in the history has done 700 shows with one car.
One car
One car.
and
And been
tearing
on
them up.
top for 7 years straight. The
That is
first
beautiful.
person that tried to knock me off the purse was Funkmaster Flex. Tried to replicate that car.
Right.
Okay. The next one to do it was CJ on 32s.
Mm.
He built a C8 to knock me out of my status of Covert King. You know what he ended up doing?
What'd he do?
Raffling off the car.
That's
You
it.
can't go where I go.
Mm.
You can't do what I do. It takes money to do what I do. For number one, you got to be retired. If you're still working, there's no way you can keep up
Can't
with me.
do it.
You can't keep up with me.
You got to be free.
You got to be free.
You gotta be free.
And you got to have some money.
Some
Got to
money.
have it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, sir. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's how you spend your money.
That's it.
You know, I tell these young cats, you know, you going out and you partying, you buying drinks, you buying rounds for your buddies. You go out 1 or 2 times a night. One round will cost you about $30, $40.
Mm.
Okay, you do that, you do the math. You're spending hundreds of dollars every month. If you just take that money and invest it
Mm.
in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, or some kind of liquid asset, something like that, you're talking about you set for the rest of your life if you can do that. But most people don't have the discipline to do that kind of thing. But I tell you, it's easy to do. You just got to do it.
Just gotta do it.
Just got to do it.
That's what you're saying. Be about it. You know.
Be about it, baby. Don't talk about it. Be about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everyone loves that hot term, the generational wealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not being about it. You know what I mean?
They're not being about it.
You know, it's a cool term going around, but it's things that have to be set in place in order to
Yes.
manifest that into reality.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And
And it takes that discipline of doing it every month, no matter what. You know, if you think about how many people spend
Ronald King, the 2024 Chevy Corvette.
where I'm at. Thank you so much. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The next award is President's Choice, presented by Levi Cunningham to Mr. Willie Forte with the 66 Pontiac.
vision is ours. Everything pure.